Hello everyone, welcome to Elazer versus MaxPax best of 7 show match with all maps being played, casted by me and AweesomeSauce. And we're already in game 1, no downtime.
Yes, hello everyone. So spawning in the top right hand side of the map, it is the red Protoss representing Team Exxon, MaxPax.
Perfect. And in the bottom left corner, one of the best European Zergs in the world, it is Elazer representing Team XCOM.
Is there anyone else on the Lasers team?
Actually, don't think so. Yeah, I was gonna ask. I think it's XCOM A Go is the team, and yeah, I don't know. I think he's by himself. I see him promoting it a lot on they have a lot of different sponsors. I see him promoting it a lot on Twitter with all kinds of stuff. He takes very professional photos with their products and stuff. So
That's cool.
Elazer is definitely a person who does well sponsor promoting wise. But yeah, I don't think there's anyone else on his team. It might be like a Poland exclusive one, and no one else got in.
Alright, so we've got just the normal hatch first for a laser and Gateway Scout from MaxPax. Um, we expect to see, I'm guessing, lots of Void Rays in this
Yeah,
series.
Oxide definitely would be, especially this map would be very void ray heavy. But I mean, Laser knows that, and I think he's one of the better Zergs to not just let randomly lose hatcheries to 5 void rays. So
Yeah. So this will be pretty exciting. See,
I wonder if
everything's just.
MaxPax is gonna cannon rush because he used to be like one of the biggest cannon rushers. Like every cannon rusher, I mean, you would know, but every cannon
Yeah.
rusher, because MaxPax was like the biggest excuse for all the cannon rushers on ladder. They're like, well, MaxPax is cannon rush and he does well in tournaments, but he kind of stopped as of late.
Yeah, MaxPax
Like
used to have all the super interesting strategies. I mean, getting kind of famous just purely off of his weird proxy gateway build in PvT. But it feels like he started playing a lot more standard
for sure.
once he started competing in more events. But yeah, every now and then he still just pull out his cheesy things, especially in small cups. That seems when he goes back to like cannoning a bunch and doing really weird strats. We've got the first Stargate of the series going down on MaxPax's side of the map.
Yeah. And I mean, Laser kind of knows about it. He sees his overload is on top of the warp gate, so he knows that warp gate started like 30 seconds late, and that's a huge giveaway for Stargate. Although pros players can do the thing where they delay the warp gate on purpose to make Zergs think to the Stargate while going Twilight, but it's not that efficient, and Zergs can still make a read. Um, and the Laser actually went for the triangle hatch, which is honestly not that common on this map, but it is, from what I understand, is really good for against Void Rays because Protoss can't really take triangle as a third. Although I guess they can in this situation, they might even have to. But the creep spread will be very close to the Protoss third base, and then any sort of Queen push or Hydra push or Roach Ravager with Queen is going to be getting there much faster just because of the creep spread. And it's a little easier to defend bases against Void Rays as well, so you don't have to spread yourself out too much. But we'll see how that works out for a Laser.
Yeah, two Lings did make it in, killed off a single worker. It's an adept in a laser's third base, but it doesn't get anything because there's nothing there right now. I wish he would have at least targeted down the larva when he had time, but I think he's
Yep.
busy dealing with the Zergling.
Yeah, losing a probe to Zerling is actually really bad, but it happens. He also had mining time, and his probes are not mining pretty anymore. Oh, that's fine. He's not adding extra gases, so I'm assuming, yeah, there's a third base. 350 pretty early, but that's kind of standard. We still can't see the second Stargate being added later, but there's also a chance it's just going to be straight into Twilight and Forge.
Yeah, that's the really nice thing about these Void Rays now is that you can secure a third base like so easily as Sauce.
Yeah, exactly. And Zerk basically has no way of knowing exactly what you're doing. Laser Overload actually survived, so MaxPax didn't even kill it yet. So he can actually get in later. Oh, this Void is not going great. Wow.
Wow, yeah,
Almost dies.
so much damage already and just nothing. We do
He,
have an
he got a
Oracle
drone,
coming
I
across.
believe, but that's about it. It's definitely not the best.
He just got a creep tumor.
Oh, wow, that's a kill. Okay, I see. I didn't know Crypto must register as kills. That's what I learned.
Yeah, there's no drones dead. So
But he is adding the second Stargate. He already added gases, adding robotics as well. So
Yeah,
It's kind of
checking up.
standard. Like it's not even anything to be surprised about.
Elazer
Um,
just now scouting the third base.
yeah, and,
And
he has really good creep. Like even already, there's only 2 tumors, but like the creep is already like almost in the middle of the map, and that's kind of what I was talking about with the triangle base. But like it's past the mid map now with the 3 tumors.
yeah, it's
So
pretty crazy. This map's so
and he's
small.
taking the forward fourth as well. There's just 7 queens, and he's definitely not planning to take any damage from Void Race. But MaxPax is kind of banking Void Race, maybe planning to do kind of a surprise factor, fly them in all at the same time, see if he can snipe a hatchery.
So
But
when Zerg is going for this queen heavy style and you're going Void Rays, what can you do? Do you just have to try to catch them off guard, or?
yeah, for sure. Because a lot of the times queens push across the map, and you can definitely just fly in, snipe a base, and recall while the queens are pushing, and then just defend at home. You can just play normal. Like you don't have to do damage with Void Race. That's like a big misconception. It's nice because when people start playing Void Race, like every Zerg would just lose 3 bases to Void Race for free. But obviously Zerg's adapted, and like Elazer has queens in position and spores and all of that, and creep tumor and spotting Zerlings. So he shouldn't be taking much damage. But it's fine to just force him out because like if you look at the lazy economy, it's not that great. He had to cut at 66. He had to make roaches because he doesn't know if it's like some sort of like glaive all in follow up. You know, so it's like Zerg takes damage regardless. But Elazer is actually going for all in, looks like, because he's adding a nice network and he's still making queens. 3 queens at a time, roaches only. So it's definitely going to be roach queen, and MaxPax has no idea because he's taking the fourth, and this might be a problem.
Yeah, and MaxPax is teching so fast. He's got the double robo and a fleet beacon coming down. He does have disruptors coming out, which do build pretty fast and help a lot against queens. So
Yeah,
maybe
for
those will
sure.
be able to save him. But
If he actually gets 2 disruptors out, it would be incredible. But yeah, his army is not looking good. It's 2 zealots, 3 adepts, and 7 voiders against 11 queens, 11 roaches, and 7 ravagers. But yeah, disruptors can be a big life changer. And this Nidus is not going to the main, which honestly he could have with that overlord at the 3 o'clock position, but he kind of forgot about it. But MaxPax knows now that this is some sort of win. He just needs to hold. If he holds, he's going to be in a great spot. Elazer has yet to see disruptors, I believe, so I don't know if he knows he needs to micro. Oh, that was gonna be nasty.
oh,
Oh my
so
god.
many
Oh,
queens
now
go down.
Voiders actually easily. They still can't fight actually. There's not enough Voiders. That's crazy. But there's one more disruptor shot, and maybe without that will be enough.
Yeah, there are still a lot of queens. They're completely out of transfuses, it looks like. The disruptor gets sniped right before the shot goes off.
Yeah, that wasn't the best micro by MaxPax. And it looks like there's just so much on the ground. Even if he clears out the queens, killing all the lings and roaches will take him eternity for those 7 Voiders. Oh no. Oh, nice. Nice shot.
He's got 2 more disruptor shots.
Nice. Dude, every
Wow.
shot is just so valuable, but it just doesn't seem to matter.
He hasn't lost any workers yet. So he doesn't have any batteries over here or anything though.
Let's see if that one hits too. Wow. Lings are the problem though. If Elazer just makes links, which is actually not what he's doing, he keeps making roaches. I feel like he should just be making links because there's no way for MaxPax to actually make anything to deal with the links efficiently. And queens are still alive, so
Yeah, it's crazy how many queens are somehow here after losing so many at the start. There's now lings in the main base as well. Workers are finally starting to fall. There's queens also going down. So yeah, actually all these queens should be able to go down now. There's enough void rays.
yeah. But yeah, the problem is it's not enough links. He needs to start spamming cannons like at his third and fourth, and maybe just save those bases. But he was gonna lose all his production.
Yeah, 15 workers fallen so far. And also so many tech structures. Both of the robos going down. I think the cybercore went down. So it looks like MaxPax will clean this up, but I mean, yeah, he lost a pretty hefty amount. You could see he's floating so much because all his production died.
Anything. Did he lose the Forge as well? Oh no, Forge is still alive, so he can definitely make stuff. Oh, he needs to rebuild the gateway from the scratch. Oh wow.
Yeah, no gateway, no cyber, so no shield batteries for a while.
And yeah, like even though he has all those voiders, but his workers are too exposed, and the Lazier's up like almost 20 workers. He can just macro out of this.
Yeah, and Elaser's continuing to make queens and send them across, making 4 queens at a time. Yeah, this is not looking good for MaxPax. And
GG.
Elazer takes game number 1.
That's kind of feels bad. He has like 1,700 medals and 400 gas. If he was just able to spend it, he would definitely hold, and the game would kind of go on. But very strong push. It felt like with Disruptors, he was always making a comeback. Those were some juicy shots. I was honestly surprised. But I guess it's impossible to micro queens against Disruptor shots.
Yeah, so map number 2 is going to be Romanticide. It is MaxPax's pick. I feel like we don't see... And I guess we do see Romanticide a lot, but in ZVP, I feel like it's not usually like a first pick.
Yep. I mean, Romanticide, I think, especially after you lose the queen push like that, Romanticide is your pick just because you don't want to die to queen push like, again. Like, that build will not work again. It can with the Nidus, obviously, but it's much harder because, like, it's just a much more defensive map. I think MaxPax is literally just gonna do the exact same build, just try to play better. Because I feel like Elazer might not be too comfortable against it or something like that, and MaxPax just knows he can do it again and just win on a better map.
Yeah. MaxPax
Both players
very
are ready.
proactive. He hosted the lobby.
Oh, really? Damn.
Yeah.
With game hard as well. Damn, this guy plays tournaments. You can tell. He's ready. Funny.
Alright, so starting in the top left-hand side of the map, he is down 0-1. Can he bring it back? It is MaxPax.
Right. And then the bottom right corner, player who just made a bunch of queens, moved them across the map. Classic Zerk, the Laser. Huh? Let's see here. Honestly, all jokes aside, that base that he made on the triangle was actually like a really big thing. I think every Zerg should be taking that nowadays. And maybe even on this map, maybe you were meant to take the forward one just for the creep purposes. So the more creep you have, like creep is literally a counter to Void Race. It's like the only reliable counter because it's the only thing that reliably sees Void Race. Um, I guess Lings can be too, but Lings die a little too fast. But Elazer is paranoid about Cannon Rush. This is, I think, from what I heard, this is the best Cannon Rush map for Protoss. And it looks like Elazer agrees because the first map he didn't even bother checking for cannons, but this map, keeping the drone there to not do this 3 pylon wall.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy to have the drone patrolling already. I mean, that's a huge precaution to take. You lose so much income having that drone there at the start. But it will not be Cannon Rush coming out from MaxPax. It's just the standard Gateway Expand. Both of the gases coming down.
Pretty standard. Oh, he did do the parting build. I guess we just have to call it the parting build because there's no other way. But he went Nexus before gases, then added 2 gas.
Oh yeah, was it 18 Nexus?
Well,
Oh,
I didn't see this game, but I believe, yeah, it had to be.
Elazer took
Oh,
the
wow.
the rich gas
Okay,
base. This
that
is
is very weird.
a very
Um,
unique third base.
yeah, I didn't expect that. I mean, this could be a Ravager rush because I mean, why else would you need like a gas that early? But it might also be in my game. Obviously, MaxPax, if you look at his vision, like right now, he's kind of paranoid. He's constantly checking the 2 bases that Zerk would normally take. He has no idea that Elazer took another one. So he might. I mean, there's not many 2 base builds that Zerk can actually do to throw Protoss off like this. Um, so MaxPax should know that he's in an okay spot, even if it's a 2 base, especially if he's opening Stargate. It's like the safest build. But the paranoia is still going to be there. He really needs to find his base just to kind of know. But perhaps he's just never seen it before.
Yeah, I mean, how often do you play against someone who does this?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, probably not often, but Elazer clearly has done this before.
Yeah, I have seen like weird builds similar to this. I think from Bly, of course, where you take your opponent's rich gas base, but
Oh, and then you rush, but yeah,
yeah. Okay,
that
MaxPax
definitely could be.
does find this just as it pops. And what's he doing with his probe? Okay, that was it. He's doing like really weird probe movement.
Yeah, I don't know. He's like
So
maybe he's looking to see what pops out of the larva, but like that doesn't be that effective. But he's being very good with that probe because like I feel like the paranoia was there because he's even making a shield battery at home and he's not moving out with his adepts like he normally would because he's just so afraid of all in. So I think he's just yeah he's just extra cautious, but there's no reason for it. Elazer seems to be just joining up. It might just literally be for that rich gas, but we still might see it timing at around 40 to 50 drones.
yeah, and we have MaxPax taking his quick third again. This time clearing out that Overlord with the Void Ray, following it up with the Oracle again. So far pretty much the same as last game. Oh, adding on the gases I think faster than last game.
Yeah, seems a little
So
faster, but most likely going to be the second Stargate. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's just going to do the exact same build, except he just wants to have a better map for it. But Elazer is adjusting. I think Elazer knew, like, hey, he's probably going to like do the exact same build, and this map is much harder to push. Let me take this greedier base for perhaps take the gas later, just so I can get to perhaps Corruptors, perhaps Hydras faster. But we shall see. And the creep tumor, look at the creep tumor. He put it in the way he put it. The creep once again is in the middle of the map. So Elazer is very good at getting the creep spread in the middle of the map before MaxPax even has like 3 units on the map.
yeah, that's pretty crazy. And it's pretty hard to push back creep when you don't have a robo yet. And the Oracle helps a little bit, and yeah, I think he'll probably do that right now.
Oh yeah,
Oh, he
that's
gets
very
both
nice
creep
clear.
tumors. That's very nice for him. Oh,
He's only gonna get one, and
yeah,
Queens can
the
still,
queens.
yeah, he's still gonna do the. Oh, it's still gonna get sniped, man. MaxPax knows the importance of that creep tumor. He's just not letting it go down. So this is a much better situation for him from last game, I feel like, especially considering the map. And he's playing very greedy. He already has gas on the third, and there's robotics and a forge on the way as well.
Yeah, so very similar to last game, just much faster gases and faster tech.
He
And
sees also a Roach Warren, but that doesn't mean much. A lot of times, so just kind of get it, just so they once again don't die to Adepts, because there's nothing that stops Protoss. Instead of adding the second target, to just add a Twilight and then Research Glaives or Charge and do some sort of all-in or a pressure. So Roach Warren is kind of necessary, but it doesn't mean Elazer won't go for an all-in. He's starting +1 attack for Roaches, and as well he's making 3, but I don't know if that's defensive or he's planning to be offensive, but his creep spread is actually not that good. MaxPax is doing a great job clearing it out.
yeah, it's crazy how good he's doing at keeping this creep back. We do have. Ooh, I don't know about this for the Void Race. And then there's also a Ling run by into MaxPax's third base. He's gonna have to recall, and yeah, I mean that just kind of sucks.
Yeah, he lost 4 workers, but he did get two overlords there, and it's not too bad. And he did see more roaches popping, and I think maybe he saw the roach speed researching. But this is the exact same build, actually. We're looking at kind of a mirror, but I do like the situation for MaxPax better, because now Disruptors is already on the way when Nidus just started. I'm pretty sure last game Nidus already popped at this timing.
Yeah,
So
this time. Yeah, last time I think he started the disruptors a little bit after the 4th base, was like halfway done, and this time he starts them before.
But Jesus, this creep, like, even though it's only 1 tumor that actually got through and he delayed it forever, but there's still queens at his 4th base already. I feel like he really needs to delay it. And he needs to make a cannon on his 3rd. I feel like this 4th might be a little too ambitious once again, because there's so many Ravagers with that rich gas. And yeah, he just needs to give up this base. And we still might be fine. Look at the Disruptor shot. It's not going to do much because queens just transfuse right away. But you're cleaning out the energy.
Yeah, he needs to back up though. I mean, not great force fields. The bios are coming down. They miss everything. Shield battery overcharge comes out. There is another disruptor shot ready. Lands on the queens again, but yeah, more transfuses come out.
He needs to line them up together. But there's enough shield batteries I feel like to hold. I think he's gonna be perhaps just fine once he clears out those queens, which he will just now after this shot.
Oh, he accidentally sent one of his disruptors in. Yeah, and there's more queens.
Every static defense just died to this round of vials. That's crazy. And there's only 1 robo. Second robo is about to die building. Jesus, that is a strong push. It just doesn't seem like MaxPax has an answer.
Yeah, good disruptor shots there, but yeah, the Void Ray counts too low, and Elazer takes game number 2 in pretty much the same exact fashion as game
Yeah,
number 1.
kind of crazy. But this time he actually had the Templar Archive and he had the Twilight Council as well. So it was kind of a different build from MaxPax a little bit. But it does seem like he just needs to add static defense. Instead of investing that money into the fourth base, that just doesn't seem to work out. He just needs a little more static defense, I think. But it's hard for Protoss because if Zerg doesn't do something like that, then obviously without a faster fourth base, you're going to be in trouble in the longer term. But yeah, I mean, if you can't hold this kind of stuff on the Manta side, I don't know where you can. He's going to have to play much safer or bring out something special if he wants to start taking maps.
Yeah, it seems like Elazer just knows how to play against this playstyle, and it seems like kind of safe going for the fast disruptors too. But yeah, I guess not. So let's see if MaxPax is gonna switch it up now. We are going into Death Aura.
Yep. So once again, okay, I'll actually correct myself. Death Aura might be a better map to defend this kind of stuff than Romanticide. Death Aura might be the hardest map for get points across the map. And that's it. If I wouldn't be surprised if he does the exact same build this time, and he's like, all right, this time I won't die. This time we'll get to the next stage of the game. So we might just see a late game, but who knows?
Yeah, this is yeah, the most defensive map in the map pool right now. So let's see if MaxPax can use that to bring it back. We are now loading into game number 3. So this is a best of 7 between Elazer and MaxPax. All 7 games we played, even if it ends up being 7-0. This is put on by Genesis Gaming and sponsored by Trovo, so a huge shout out to them. There's also a Matcherino with a code you could use, that will be in the chat. So thanks everyone for stopping by and watching. We're now loaded into game number 3, spawning in the top side of the map, up 2-0. Can he make it 3? It is Elazer.
And then bottom right side of the map, struggling a little bit against Queen Ravager pushes. It's MaxPax representing Team Axon.
Yep, so openings are of course always going to be the same unless we have something like a cannon rush or a 12 pool, but both of these players choosing to go standard every single game so far.
And it does look MaxPax is going to do that. Actually, let's look at the supplies. I'm kind of curious myself. Is it going to be 18 Nexus? Looks like it's going to be 18 Nexus.
Yeah, he's got that probe rallied over.
Yeah.
So we saw Parting do this build during ESL.
AM Katowice, yeah.
Yeah, I am. And Harsim has a video on it and talks about the numbers. I have seen a few people, I think like Showtime says that it's not actually as efficient, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, I mean,
exactly
it's one of
how
those
it works
things
out.
that, like, I think the problem was it just got way too overhyped. Everyone was like, wow, Parting just did this new thing, which is like no one ever seen. And you look at it as just, it's the Nexus a little earlier, Gas a little later. We've seen that stuff. We did the builds like that in Heart of the Swarm. We had builds like Gas first in PvZ and other matchups, which would allow you to get Stargate even faster than this build. So there's just different variations of builds, and they all have their pluses and minuses. Like, for example, Parting did start, like, he was one of the person who did a lot of the Gas first builds, and he would just die to Sue doing, like, 12 pull 3 times in a row, because with Gas first, you just die. And, you know, and then he would do this build, or, like, against Innovation, where he also did Nexus into 3-gate pressure, and Innovation would just play really greedy for no reason, and will also just die. So it just kind of depends on execution, but you can see that the Stargate definitely comes out a few seconds earlier, but the problem is you have to make the Zealot first of all, and he actually canceled it, but you have very little potential for the Adept pressure, because normally you can make 2 or 3 even Adepts and move out with 1 or 2 for Zerg to make extra links. But in this, with this build order, you really can't, because gateway unit is very delayed, so you're playing more on the passive side, you have a little less scouting, a a little less pressure potential. Zerg can drone more. So it's just little trade-offs, and it just kind of depends on the style. But it's good for Protoss players to have this different repertoire of like early game builds where they can just do like 3-4 different openings that all give them the different timings. It makes Zerg's life much harder to actually make a read on what exactly Protoss is doing.
Yeah, it's very nice. For so long, the Protoss opener was exactly the same every game, pretty much.
Yeah.
We do have, of course, the standard Void Ray coming out. Looks like the fast third from
Yeah,
MaxPax,
it
most
looks
likely going
like
to be coming down in a minute.
he's very much a believer in this build, and I think after this map we're gonna stop seeing this as much. I feel like Oxide was a great map for this build, or Romanticide was even better. Death Aura might be even better, but after that, I mean, I've said that after Romanticide, but I do think once it's like Pillars of Gold or like, you know, Submarine, like I don't really see him doing those builds, especially after losing to Roach All-Ins already on the maps that are good for this build. But we shall see. So far, it's pretty standard. He's moving out with a Void Ray. Let's see if he finds his Overlord. It would be kind of sad if he doesn't. It's always a bad day for a Void Ray when he doesn't even find a single Overlord to kill.
Yeah, it's looking like it's not going to. Ah, and misses the creep tumor too. So far this Void Ray has done not much, and I don't expect it to find almost anything. There's a spore at the natural, and there are queens out. 5 queens out right now. 6th
He's
on
trying
the
to go
way.
for the
Oh,
drone. He gets the drone, gets out. Alright, that's pretty good.
yeah. I think that's the most damage he's done with his Void Rays yet.
Yeah.
So,
And Elazer seems to be doing kind of the same thing. And once again, defensive Roach Warren, but could end up being a very much offensive one. There's 2 Stargates at home. Um, And actually, the MaxPax is
oh,
already adding 2 shield batteries on his third. So
yeah.
he's getting a little paranoid. It's more shield batteries than he's ever made in his third, I believe. But there's robotics at the same time too. So I guess we'll just have to see.
Yeah, Elazer grabbing his 4th base, continuing to make 1 queen at a time. So yeah, we'll see if the Nidus comes down again. Does he have the same amount of gases as normal? We have an Evo chamber down for him, so I don't
Nice
think it'll
work.
be the same.
Find some 2 worker kills. Just don't lose it, and it's good. All right, perfect. That's fine.
Nice. Now he could
Um,
commit it to helping clear up creep with the voids. Voids should find this Ling runway. No, I guess not. They're just barely gonna miss it.
this is it now, but yeah, it's not gonna do much. He actually has defense this time. He took damage last game from this exact run by, but this time he's prepared, so he's adjusting on the fly, and it does seem like Elazer is not going for the all-in because he's already at 70-something workers. He's getting overload speed as well, but it doesn't look like it's gonna be for. It could be for, obviously for queen drops, but I kind of doubt it. He's also adding infestation pit, so we actually might end up in an hour-long Death Aura map split game.
Sounds great.
Everyone is excited about.
That snipe on the 4th base, it was so nice. It was so close to finishing. And that's got to feel great for MaxPax. Elazer running in, scouting with his Overseer, seeing that it's pretty much exactly the same thing. We've got the double robo disruptors about to start being made. The fleet beacon is down. And still just void rays, disruptors, and probes coming out.
Yeah. Oh, this 2 overlords are gonna suicide themselves. That's a bad rally. Probably was meant to be Lings. But Ellis is playing a little safer. Like this time, he's actually adding cannons. Look, yeah, he's adding 3 cannons, so he's third. He's like, I'm not dying this
Yeah,
time.
if
But
only
this
he
time,
did this last game.
yeah, this time Elazer is actually playing more of a macro style. But it's fine. Like it's not like 450 middles is any problem once you're like on what 72 workers. He just needs to do the same with his 4th. And he knows it's also a macro. He sees the infestation pit. He sees there being more of a passive in this game, and he's still active on the map with Voiders. But if you look at the laser, like that vision is what every Zerg needs. He has links everywhere. That way, he always knows when Voiders reposition themselves, so he always knows where to be with the Queens. Like it's just Link
Yeah.
just died, and Queens are right away repositioned. That's what every Zerg should be doing, just having a Link on the map. And as soon as he loses one, he replaces the Link, and that's just perfect. He also sends the changelings. Like he always knows where the Voiders are. And it's so hard for MaxPax to find any damage because at this point there's 11 queens. Like with transfuses, it's really hard to do anything. He's gonna try to go for a hatchery. I don't think that's gonna work out. Yeah, he cancels the charge, gets out, can't even get a queen because of transfuses. Perfect play by Elazer, honestly. And he's on 97 drones, so
Oh yeah.
he's ready for this macro.
I'm really
And
surprised that MaxPax actually went for that. He had vision of the queens with the revelation.
but
Oh, the
this
Oracle popping in. That's nice. Gets a couple kills. And they snipes the spawning pool.
yeah,
Elazer making 50 lings before the pool dies. Making a little bit of use of it.
it's
And
still not a big deal. I'm surprised he doesn't have. Usually every Zerg has like 2-3 sports in the main. But he actually goes go for Ultralisk Cavern. I don't know about that, but I guess against Disruptors it might just work. Just
yeah,
like a link, like heavy link style. Oh, look at that link run by Jesus. He actually has so little static defense, not a single shield battery. And there's only a few gateway units, and Disruptors are not great here. So he's gonna lose a bunch of ropes. I don't like this for MaxPax.
yeah, this is
Ooh,
not great. Yeah, trying to disrupt your shot is so scary there. We will finally get to see MaxPax actually execute his full game plan for the first time this series. So it looks like it is going to be the carrier disruptor. He is getting immortals now. Did he see the Ultralisk Cavern?
I think he might have just guessed. But immortals are good regardless. Like
Yeah, he
eventually
didn't see
Disruptors
it.
kind of lose value, but it makes sense to add some immortals that are just good regardless. Even if there's like a lurker, viper, turtle, it's always good. And you can trade them later on if it's a turtle situation. You can just send them somewhere to try to kill a hatchery, and they're very good at killing buildings. There's 5 ultralisk and 3 vipers on the way, along with 2 spires. And yeah, I'm really curious to see how that's gonna go. I mean, the Voiders have yet to do anything this game except like little damage, so very good defense by Elazer. And with this many queens, Ultralisk are like almost unkillable for a while, because if he actually has queens where the Ultralisk are, that is an insane amount of transfuses.
Yeah, there's 17 queens out right now. It's crazy. So
Yeah, 17 queens for 5 Ultralisk. They have, it's only 1-1, but 2-2 is on the way. All the Ultralisk upgrades are on the way. I have no idea what they're called, but we all know what they do. It's just armor and speed. And yeah, both players' army is looking scary. I mean, MaxPax also has Skytos upgrades on the way. He's probably researching. He only now started researching +1 in his ground, actually.
yeah, he also just saw the Ultralisks for the first time, so he finally knows what he's up against fully. But he shouldn't feel too bad about seeing them. He does have those immortals, and Void Rays do great against them as well. The Vipers
Look at
are out now.
It's so weird. It's just 49 links, 5 Ultralisk, 3 Vipers, 17 Queens, and now there's corruption swapping. Um, yeah, not the army you see too often, and yeah, I don't know. It's gonna be also hard to micro against disruptors, but there's only 3 of them, and you can obviously pull them. It just depends on the micro, but the game can end in an instance because players are taking the bases next to each other, and I don't know about that. I feel like he should have taken like a 7 o'clock position base instead of this one, because he's way too close to the creep. The queen's are right here.
Yeah, the Queens can help the fight so much. Zerg coming forward. A good disruptor shot to take out some of the Queens. And nice splits from MaxPax, actually. That was a pretty good fight for him. Also, Elazer forgot adrenal glands. He was researching it when the pool got sniped. And after he rebuilt the pool, he didn't research it again. So that's actually a pretty big deal.
Yeah, and also this Ultralisk run by at MaxPax 3rd, and they're actually crushing the static defense. But Voiders are here now, so they have to retreat. But he's focus firing the workers. Look at him.
Yeah, he actually finds a lot of damage there, and killing all those cannons is pretty nice too.
And also, I wonder if he wants to actually trade those Ultralisk, like if he actually like, because if there's no storms, because usually Ultralisk are kind of like good for storms because they can just go in and kill the High Templars, perhaps. But like if it's just Immortal Disruptor, they can't really kill anything before like Disruptor shots go off or anything like that. So he might just want to like use them either for static defense. He's kind of just protecting his like 6 space with it. But yeah, it's really weird.
Yeah, Lazer's army just feels so awkward, like you were saying. Oh,
I know.
yeah,
What?
here we
Oh,
have it
wow.
going forward again. Corruptor's just diving on everything. MaxPax isn't that close to his shield batteries, and he's tanking the parasitic bombs completely. I mean, he's not gonna die here, but I feel like that fight could have been so much better for him if he would have just backed up a tiny bit to his shield batteries or split off. the Void Ray. That was
Yeah.
Perseic bombed.
It's crazy how Elazer is just taking this base. It's like, it was crazy that MaxPax took it there, but now Elazer is taking it here. It just makes no sense because there's so many cams and shield batteries right next to it. You can just go to the different side of the map. And there's also run by again, but there's 2 Void Rays, shield battery, a bunch of cannons. And this time he will be just fine. Yeah, he just kind of loses one Ultralisk for a cannon. Not the best trade.
Yeah,
He's
that's so
getting
expensive.
adrenaline now, so it's about to finish. His upgrades are great.
Yeah, resources loss is totally in favor of MaxPax. Elazer's loss
Oh yeah, Jesus.
double MaxPax. And now we have a Ling Corruptor Ultralisk run by. The Corruptors to deal with the 2 Void Rays that were there. But MaxPax is marching forward onto Elazer's side of the map.
Incredible. That is the funniest thing ever. He actually brought, but there's a huge. He's actually moving in, and there's actually High Templar and Disruptors in this army. Void Recharge is gonna run out, and that's probably where the all the Corruptors want to fight him. But he just has so little at home. His army just feels so awkward. He has like 2 more Ultras on the way with 4 more Corruptors, but he might have to give up this base, and he doesn't have that much static defense.
Yeah,
So this,
he did snipe the 3rd base of MaxPax as well.
yes, such a weird
So
trade.
MaxPax can come in and get this other base too. Oh, it looks like Elazer wants to engage here. He brings in all the Corruptors. There's no overcharge yet.
Wow. He needs to recall. He needs to recall. MaxPax needs to get out. I don't think this is a fight he can take.
With
Okay,
overcharge, it's a lot
he's
better.
fucked everything on the ground. And there's still enough points to just use this. Maybe not actually. They're dying so fast. He doesn't have time to actually pursue. This is so awkward. I've never seen anything like that.
Yeah, I don't even know what's. The Corruptors are just rallying in one by one and dying, but there's a huge Ling Ultralisk run by to MaxPax's 4th base, but
And the
I mean,
natural, yeah, he's losing a lot. They're both straight. I think Elazer just needs to chill at home, rebuild the queens. MaxPax's bank is much bigger, which is going to help him in the long run for sure. Oh, that disruptor shot actually clears out Ultralisk, but MaxPax is down to like basically 1 mining base.
yeah, oh man, all the spores are parked under the Void Rays. He's losing so many Void Rays now. He took so much damage, and now the Corruptor's coming forward. But with overcharge, I feel like MaxPax really needs to get out of here.
Yeah, I think he thinks he's in the bad spot, but considering his bank, if he rebuilds his army, he also can kill a lot of those ultras for free. He'll be just fine because Elazer isn't mining much either. He's back to 63 workers, and that base on the
Yeah, it's so
1
low.
o'clock should have been dead long time ago. If he actually killed it, it would be a completely different game because Elazer is mining way too much right. There's also gases mining there as well.
I think he's gonna run in and kill it now. He saw it. He knows that it's low. Does he have overcharge? Not yet.
Voiders have such a good upgrades. It's 3-2 on Void Rays versus 2-1 on Corruptors. Oh, that's a bad laser. No, all of those are gonna die. Those
Yeah.
Corruptors.
Really good splits by MaxPax too. And I mean, even just picking off the random Ultralisks are pretty nice. Those things are so expensive, and this base should definitely go down now.
And they're both out of money. And without this base, Laser basically is gonna. Oh, we kill the base! Please! Stop attack. Click a base, it's like 2 HP. Oh no, I mean, he's gonna clear out the creep for free, so that works too. It's perfectly fine for him. And the Laser just has no money to actually replace the Ant there. He has 8 Corruptors on the way, he has no money after. And there's 16 Void Rays with 4 on the way, with better upgrades. Considering that there's literally 0 queens on the map, I don't think he has a chance, even with those 4s.
Yeah, this is looking pretty good for MaxPax, and he's making sure to only overcharge half of the Void Rays at a time so that he has a bigger window where he can fight.
Yeah,
Took out all the spores.
There's Disruptor in the wall on his natural, not letting the Link get in. Yeah, looks like all the Corruptors are dying and the Laser's gonna tap out. GG. Well, that was the weirdest PvZ I've seen. I don't know what to think about this Ultra Link style. I mean, he was doing a lot of damage. You have to give it to him. He killed like 2-3 bases with his Link, Corruptor, Ultralisk run-bys. But at the same time, he just didn't have, like, it was such a big commitment to resources that he just didn't seem to have that much of a bank to actually build up spores and higher Corruptor count. And MaxPax just kind of made too many Void Rays, and it didn't even feel like he was taking good fights. I felt like a lot of the fights were going pretty well for Elazer, but I guess they just had bigger numbers.
Yeah, yeah. A lot of the fights felt like even or slightly in favor of one player or the other. But there was like so many times I was thinking, oh, MaxPax could have had a much better fight here. But then when you look at the resources lost, and he's doing twice as good as Elazer, it's kind of crazy how efficient he was being.
Well, now it's gonna be Lazer's map pick. It's gonna be 2-1, but I'll take a quick 1 minute break. I guess players might need it as well, and then we'll jump into the map number 4 with the score 2-1.
All right. Yep. Map number 4 is gonna be submarine as well. All right. We're gonna go to a break real quick. During this time, you can hop over to Matcherino, enter the code. It is GenG004, and it's completely free for you guys, and it gives extra money to the players. So I'll go ahead and post that link in the chat. And we're gonna get this game ready for you guys during the downtime.
Elaser's pick, definitely the map that he just doesn't want to play against Voidrick. Voidry memes into third base too much because it's definitely not the build that you can really pull off on Submarine.
Yeah, I wonder what MaxPax is gonna go for here. Submarine we don't get to see very often in any matchup because it's probably the most hated map. It gets
Yeah,
vetoed like every single time unless it literally cannot be vetoed.
I've seen that him play against those players already, so we can go. Oh, I guess never mind. Max Pack is not.
MaxPax not.
Um, but I've seen MaxPax playing against Vanya when I casted Pizza Pie last week, and he did this build where he kind of just went for literally 3 gate. He just went 3 gate. He made a bunch of adepts, and then he went glaive robo after. So he pressured with no glaives, and then got like and just like defensively shaded backwards, forced Vanya to make units, and then followed up with like glaive all in.
Hmm.
And sometimes he would do glaive into like disruptive drop. So honestly, it's kind of a smart build for submarine because you can put a lot of pressure for Zergs to make more units than they need to, and then like the follow-up glaive that build can do a lot of damage, or even just straight up kill them. But yeah, I just don't see the regular Voidrick style working on this map. That's just way too hard, and clearly Elazer knows that, which is kind of why he picked this map.
Yeah, so we'll see if MaxPax does something crazy like that or if he pulls out something else that's cool. We have both players just playing normal. MaxPax doing a pylon scout.
That's pretty standard for this map,
Mm,
considering that the 12 pull could be scary.
yeah,
But
you
Elazer's not
definitely
going for that.
you definitely get the block off with this pylon scout, right?
Yeah. On submarine, it's very easy. Laser is sending a drone in advance. He can try to. Yeah, he's not gonna, like you can try to cancel one drone and get it anyway, but it's not that efficient. A lot of times, easier to just take the third base. And I mean, when Zerg takes the third, glaive adepts do become a little stronger because the creep spread works a little different. It's harder for them to connect the queens, all of that. Um, but MaxPax is going again for that 18 Nexus, so it does seem like he's a big fan of that build. So far, I believe he's gone for it every single time. So yeah, 18 Nexus, then he's adding one gas into the Cyber.
Yeah, one gas is cyber and then another gas, right? Here it comes. So, it seems like he definitely believes in the build. I know there's some people that have had good success with it, some people that have had pretty bad success, or like no success with it. Chronoing the Zealot though, this is different.
Taking workers and he's running his ult. I guess he's gonna pressure. I guess he's gonna pressure because I mean Overlord's gonna see it right away, so Elazer knows. It's not like he went for 3 hatches before pull or anything. So he can just make lings and be fine. Oh, yeah, I don't know. He sees everything, and I feel like Elazer should be perfectly fine. But yeah, we shall see what it's gonna do because his second gas is now super late. Um,
Did Elazer actually notice it though? He made a drone from the third and from the second and continued sending the other drone there. So I don't
oh
think he actually saw it,
yeah,
even though he had vision of it.
yeah. This is already expected. One probe and zealot, bullying all the drones out of the mining. Lings are coming though, so he'll be fine eventually. But it's just yeah, and then it's not like a laser made a crazy amount of links. It's only 8, and that's more than enough. Now Adept is coming, but with 8 links and 2 queens, he'll be more than fine.
Yeah, this is
Um,
pretty funny. It almost looks like a 12 pull happened or something.
yeah, this is really awkward. But a link speed is actually like not. It wasn't the fastest one. When pull finished, he didn't have 100 gas. So MaxPax does have a little bit of time before that finishes. Wait! Don't AFK your units. So awkward.
There's no way
But
that this is a good move.
queen, yeah. The queen positioning was very good. Didn't let that depth just walk into the drone line and start hitting workers. But 2 units go down, and
Steph should be able to get a single drone. Nope.
wow, perfect,
So
micro by a laser there.
I mean, those units did accomplish what they were intended for. It would have been way better if he didn't lose them there, but he forced out a good amount of lings. He stopped mining for a while, and he just kind of is keeping a laser on his toes. So he is doing that glaives with the robo behind it. It's gonna be 4-gate adept.
Yeah, I mean, which is kind of standard, but it's not the it's not the 420 timing. The early game is very different, but he's not lacking in probes or anything, as you said. Like he just forced some links, and he has a really high probe count actually, 36 to 38, and the laser kind of has to stop now on the workers. He's making 6 now, but if he makes any more, he will take way too much damage.
Yeah, he
From
does
the
have the safety roach horn going down, so that should be able to help him. And then he's gonna have 5 queens popped in a second.
It's a bunch of queens. It's basically like the what people call the DRG response, where you just make mass lings and queens, and then you have a full-up roach warren on one gas, where you can just make 5 roaches if adepts actually get out of control, but if they don't, you just stay on links. Um, but yeah, it's 44 workers, which is actually a little more than you normally would have, but obviously the early game wasn't that clean. But yeah, I don't see MaxPax doing too much because it's just 5 adepts, there's already 6 queens and 20 workers. But I think MaxPax knows that. That's why he's already adding third gas. I'm assuming it's going to be a disruptor follow-up. He's already has 4th. This adapter just literally just need the 4th units. I don't think if he even kills a drone, that's going to be incredible for him.
Yeah, he's got to know that there's no way this could do like devastating damage. Here he comes forward. I love the shade actually. This is great.
Oh yeah, but Roach is pop at the perfect timing. But he might get actually some drones. So yeah, already 2 drones. But yeah, he's about to lose quite a bit of drones here. Prism will get him the main though. That's a little bit of a problem.
Yeah,
But,
4 adepts to make it out and a recall on the prism. 2 drones went down, but I think 5 adepts. Yeah, 5 adepts went down right there.
it's not the best. He does have robotics bay on the way, as kind of we predicted. and he has 5 worker lead. But on submarine, like yeah, Laser can just kind of move out and never let MaxPax take a third base. He's actually even almost catching those adepts.
Yeah, and MaxPax never cleared out the Overlord on this pillar, so Elazer can still see everything that's going on with MaxPax. He
Yep.
knows exactly how many units there are, how much defense there is, if a probe's moving out to take a third. Elazer, feeling pretty comfortable with his position, is actually just going to sit at home with his units. The Disruptor is coming out, and Warp Prism Speed's on the way, so we'll have some fancy Disruptor drops potentially.
Yep. I mean, it just has to be. But the warpism is already damaged, so that's kind of a big deal because Queens might actually be able to get it or force it to be more defensive. It's much harder to drop with the prism when it's almost dead like this. He's also following up with the blink. Um, but there's so many adepts. He's still warping in more and more adepts. So I feel like this he will try to take a fight. And actually, Laser has to be careful. He only has 30 links and 5 roaches to 16 adepts. He has to start making units. But he actually just has drones and overloads on the way. I actually kind of afraid for him right now. He might just not have enough. He's making 4 more roaches, but that's not good. He needs a lot more.
Yeah, this is actually looking good for MaxPax, and if there's like 1 or 2 good Disruptor hits here, then this is horrible for Elazer. And using the Disruptor to zone out the units while the Adepts kill the Queens, it's great. 3 Queens go down so far. Shade goes into the main while the Adepts walk towards the third. And I
He's
think he'll
gonna
let the Shade finish. Yeah.
just so many links, and yeah, the Laser just played just a little too greedy. All of a sudden, he felt completely in control, and those adepts just did too much. And it's funny because Max is not even all in. He has Colossus and Blink on the way with the third base and making 3 probes at a time. This is crazy amount of damage. 14 workers already going down.
Yeah, this is devastating damage. It feels like 25 workers, more continuing to fall. Oh, man.
Yeah,
And
that
there's,
was unexpected.
and there's just Roaches on the way. Roaches aren't going to be able to do too much on the counter offense either.
I mean, they can. Does he have a roach speed? I believe he should.
Yeah, it just finished. They're with
Oh, nice.
Disruptors, a bunch of Sentries, and Colossus. It just feels scary for
Yeah.
Elazer. Like, he has to do
It is
so much here.
submarine, though. It is submarine, so he can definitely
It's
ravage
true.
really fast, and a couple of Ravages will do really good micro here. Um, Disruptors are on cooldown. Oh, not anymore.
Here's the
Let's see
battery
the split.
overcharge. First Disruptor shot comes out. Second Disruptor shot is ready.
He might just break him, honestly. I'm looking at the units.
Wow,
and he
yeah.
might... Max is kind of floating a lot, and he only has 4 gateways where you can work in, and he also AFK'd Colossus, but he has 2 now. I mean, he's not gonna... I think he'll hold his natural, which might just be all he needs. If he just holds his natural, he can still play macro. It's even workers. Actually, the Laser is already up to 53. This counter attack is doing a lot more than expected. Nice disruptor shot.
Yeah, I did not think that Elazer was going to be able to kill the third. I guess MaxPax just had like no units at home. I really thought he had a lot more. But I guess he lost. He committed everything to that attack pretty much.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like at this point he should have just, at some point, like there was no point killing more drones. Maybe just recalling and saving some adepts would be better. Just protecting that third would have been so important. But I also think he mispositioned his army a little bit. The sentries could have been like closer to the choke, where you can actually just force the choke right away to buy yourself time. And Colossus wasn't with the main army either. That could have been a factor to actually defend the third. But now it's a problem. Lasers back to 71 workers from being just to like 35. What felt like a minute ago. He has a hive on the way, and yeah, if he just gets to Vipers, which is literally what he's looking for, he's gonna be right. 3 drones going down to the disruptor drop. Another queen is gonna die. Hey,
Yeah.
MaxPax is doing with the best he can with those disruptors. They're definitely been valued this game.
13
But
roaches coming out for Elazer. He's making them to make sure he doesn't just die to an attack right now. And yeah, 70 drones, 52. He's got the 4th base done and saturated. MaxPax's 3rd base isn't finished yet. A lot more drones going down from that disruptor shot, but MaxPax is going to need to find a lot here. I love how active he's being with this Warp Prism though, but now with just a single Viper will shut this down though.
yeah, and overall, like the Vipers are so strong in this situation because 2 disruptors, he's making third one, and 3 Colossus. Like if Viper just get a pull on them, it's pretty bad because then you're just left with the stalkers I mean, they do have +1, they do have blink, but roaches are kind of powerful against that situation. Gets a queen here. Very nice.
Yeah, there is only one Viper out right now. It's getting energy, but
Oh,
I don't think it's gonna have energy fast enough.
yeah, he's giving up the base. So MaxPax actually can play macro. Somehow they're back to even workers. So just kill the base and macro. I feel like that's the move.
Yep.
And he's recalling the entire army. Oh, he's gonna kill all the roaches. What? Elazer kind of didn't pay attention. I don't think he's gonna kill anything here.
Oh,
Wow.
great
Elazer
disruptor shot.
feels like. Yeah, those disruptor shots. What are the kills on them, man? 27 on one. Can't really pick another since he's in the prism. But I feel like those disruptors are just done way too much.
Yeah, and now that's gotta feel good for MaxPax. Elazer has to retake his 4th base right now, and Elazer's back down to 53 workers. MaxPax is even on workers now with him.
Yeah, there's only one Viper, there's 3 Colossus, 3 Disruptors, and it's just basically Roach Ravager. So yeah, MaxPax is actually can't just win the game with this push.
Yeah, 29 and 27 kills on those disruptors. So there's no observer. There is an observer, but it's not with the army. The Viper pulls the first Colossus, pulls the second Colossus. They both die immediately, but
Shots are so bad. Oh my
yeah.
God. I think the laser is just done. I don't understand how this game went down, but it is what it is. I guess Vipers just came out 2 and there was only 1. And it's still so close. He's pulling the drones. Kind of AFKing some of the drones.
Yeah, there's a full surround there for a laser. Actually, it looks. Oh, the prism. Okay, looks like maybe MaxPax thought that he had it with that blink forward, and the game will continue.
Somehow game just goes on. I just don't understand anymore. It's just so back and forth. It's still a bad position for Lasers. There are only 52 workers, and he has to stay in this Roach Ravager count. So I think if MaxPax just chills out for a bit, finishes his +2, gets a little more disruptors, perhaps goes back to Colossus. But now Elazer actually has time to build up 3-4 Vipers, and that's where Colossus and disruptors start losing value.
Yeah, these disruptors still being active around the map, just moving around looking for any damage they can find. Oh, but with this Viper here, I think the prism might finally go down. Gotta unload.
Oh,
I don't think he has recall though. Oh, he does. But yeah, it doesn't matter.
It's just a waste. Well, this is actually I don't know how many times I said, but this time it's actually does look very good for Elazer. It's just pure stalker. There's 1 disruptor building at the time, and there's no 4th base for MaxPax. So there's also +2 upgrades for roaches. There's +2 in stock, +1 in stock. +2 is about to finish.
The 4th base just now started for MaxPax, and he's coming onto the map, but I don't think he's actually trying to get damage done. I think he's trying to just distract Elazer and not make him think about pushing out right now.
Yep. And while he's taking the 4th, and I mean, stalkers can do some stuff. Like there's no lings on the map whatsoever, so there's nothing that can chase the stalkers off creep. So any damage, yeah, perfectly just snipes a roach, I guess, and loses 1 stalker for it.
These roaches will find the adepts.
Yeah, those adepts were trying.
But that will give MaxPax enough time to prepare for the roaches at home. Oh, he's got 3 disruptors right there. Roaches pushing the stalkers back to the 4th base, though. There's no shield batteries here, and no tech units here either. It's just stalkers against roaches and ravagers.
Yeah, this is really awkward.
Roaches pushing on the other side. Huge disruptor shots. Stop the push in its tracks. And it looks like MaxPax will hold, taking almost no damage on either side. It's still I feel like maybe over making disruptors at this point. He's going up to 7 disruptors. I feel like Immortals would be way better here. Do you think it's fine?
Yeah, I guess Immortals would be actually very good, and it's a little more reliable. And there's only 2 Vipers. Yeah, I mean, kind of both work, but yeah, a couple Immortals wouldn't be too bad, I guess. But it's crazy how like Max actually managed to build up this huge army.
Oh,
somehow Elazer did progress on his Viper count.
Yeah, good force fields there, seconds off a few roaches. Oh, gets a Viper. There's only 1 Viper left now. Good disruptor shots going forward. I don't know about that abduct.
That does seem like MaxPax should be able to push through now. Like he just needs to wait for disruptors to get their shots back and get some of the reinforcement units. I mean, Elazer is to 76 workers, so he's printing a lot of roaches at the time. But that's a big push. Gets a queen, blinks out. Oh, that's not the greatest blink out. Nice disruptors to protect the stalkers.
Yeah, we do have two zealots running to the other side of the map, but they'll be met by a few roaches. Oh, this hatchery's low. He can just focus the hatch and blink out.
Oh yeah, hatchery.
Oh man, that's
Oh,
a
they got
good
it for,
find for
like,
MaxPax. Ling's
base.
almost getting into the natural. I think they might find a disruptor. No, it fires off, and well, those Lings almost found damage in a couple places, but I mean, now we have 4 bases to 4 bases. Elazer is up in workers right now. Lurker Den on the way. I like that from him. There's
Lurkers is what he needs for sure against this style. Even though there's a bunch of disruptors, but if Lurkers get their upgrades and you can micro them well along with Vipers, it's definitely much better than just trying to dodge 7 disruptor shots with just pure road Ravager.
yeah, Elazer opting to take the bottom left base instead of the top middle base now. Maybe he feels like he could defend that easier, or he wants to shift the map down to that side. The zealots will find it though, actually, and there's also a bunch of drones that just went there, and MaxPax's main army is pushing in towards Elazer's third base, snipes the Viper. There are 0 Vipers on the map right now.
That's a hard fight to take. It's just 27 roaches against this many disruptors, stalkers, and archons. This is just not looking good. There's finally, they just spawned the lurkers, but pretty much dying right away.
Yeah, and I think MaxPax can just snipe this base and walk out here if he wants to, or he could take the fight. I mean, either looks like it'll be fine for him. Ends up going with neither so far. Ling's getting on top of the disruptors, but I mean, there's just not a lot here for Elazer. There is a roach run by, but there's a cannon and stalkers to meet it there.
Fine. It's crazy how Elazer just seems to keep hanging on by a thread every time. Just feel like MaxPax has been so many deadly pushes, but Elazer just stays alive.
Yeah, how did that base live? There's so many stalkers, they could have just focused it down and blinked out and it would have been fine. But MaxPax does know about this bottom left base. The zealots did bruise it earlier, so he should be able to go in and snipe it if he's proactive, but it looks like he's busy dealing with the Lings on the other side of the map. He doesn't have much to defend there, actually. Just 2 cannons, a couple stalkers that already went down. Okay, he will get this base.
That gets Lurker with Disruptor. Yeah, it's really hard because Lurkers don't have their upgrades. They're just now, one of them is just finishing. So without it, it's really hard to micro against Disruptors because the borrow speed is really important.
Yeah, I almost feel like he should have gotten the burrow speed first instead of the range, knowing that there's so many disruptors out.
Right.
Oh, what happened to the... Oh, the creep tumors blocked them.
No.
That's crazy. Right.
But MaxPax is not ahead in supply. Oof. I mean, there's now 5 Vipers and 5 Lurkers, but those Lurkers are protecting the base that's about to go down on the 1 o'clock position.
Yeah, there's also finally High Templar out. Storm started +3, now finishing for MaxPax to almost even out the upgrades. Oh, blink forward, snipes 2 of the Vipers. Oh.
It's gonna get some of the... Man, MaxPax playing really well.
Yeah, he lost a few stalkers there, but I think it might have been worth it. It's kind of hard to tell.
Kind of fine. He's barely mining though. Like he's basically only mining with 4 mineral patches on the 3rd and full base saturation on the 4th. But he got this 5th base, and that's where he wants to hang on. I don't think Elazer can be aggressive. He's trying to do some sort of lurker run by, but I actually don't like it. I feel like he's gonna lose lurker for free.
Yeah, he is sending zealots to deal with it.
Oh, but there's no vision now. And there's also a fight at the 5th.
Yeah, the fight at the 5th, it looks like it's still gonna happen. There's so many disruptor shots coming forward, a bunch of the lurkers will go down, and now there's not much here for Elazer. I mean, there's not even much for MaxPax either besides disruptors.
It's so weird. It's just literally disruptors and high templars and 3 stalkers.
Yeah, it looks like the lurkers are putting in a lot of work at MaxPax's 5th base over here.
Okay, they're actually gonna take that base out. That's kind of crazy. I really thought it's not gonna do much, but they're taking out one of the few mining bases, and they're both really not mining that much.
Yeah, neither of them have units that they can like really push with. There's like lurkers and disruptors, but there's no like real combat units.
Yeah, and it's hard. Both of them like kind of want to play split out because like there's so many disruptors and he actually morphed all the High Templars into Archons. He doesn't want to storm anymore. But now it's just 11 Zealots, 3 Archons, and 6 Disruptors, and that's an awkward army to split out. But he
Yeah.
might be able to catch those Lurkers for free, so
Yeah,
that's gonna
coming
be a
in
good.
from two sides should be able to get him, but you might lose an Archon or two for it. I like the repositioning, but yeah, I mean, that's a pretty expensive loss there for Elazer. There is a push from Elazer coming in on the left side. There's only disruptors there to defend, and Vipers coming forward to pull them into the lurkers.
One. Okay, this is starting to look pretty bad for Max because if he doesn't like, he has no more mining. By the way, if this base dies, which it will, there's literally no mining. He has no bank, so he has 4 mil patches. Like he needs to somehow get spawn in the middle and make another base. While the laser is fully mining for 3 bases actually. So this is actually really bad for MaxPax. I feel like this might be the beginning of the end after 22 minutes of pure action on submarine. Because there's just you can't really push. There's 7 lurkers and 3 Vipers with only 3 disruptors left, so he can pull every single one, no problem. I really don't see what MaxPax can really do here.
Yeah, looks like he's gonna maybe try to find some damage, but yeah, Elazer knows that he's got a better army now, and he's just pushing forward, ready to fight. Oh, and Archon even gets moved command into the army, and MaxPax is gonna try to do damage at this base. But, I mean, the Lurker should be able to defend it. Is there no Hydro speed? This
Oh yeah, well,
his Hydros are so slow.
but yeah, he knows it's over. He has no mining, doesn't have an extra base. GG. What a crazy game. I feel like Elazer was down and out when he lost all his workers to Adepts. Then MaxPax fell down and out when he lost his base to the counterattack. Then he did his counterattack, and he actually did the aggressive blink might have killed him, where he thought it was just over. And then Elazer pulled drones and just defended barely. And yeah, somehow the game went on for just 22 minutes. It's kind of crazy. Elazer ended up building 159 workers this whole game, which is
Yeah,
a lot.
that was an insane game. It felt over so many times.
It's crazy.
All right, so the series is now 3-1 for Elazer. Our 5th game is going to be on Jagannatha. Let's see if MaxPax can bring it back. This is a match point for Elazer, but even if he wins here, we are going to go through with all 7 of the games. Just to keep on bringing you guys some good games. Thank you to Trovo for sponsoring this event and Genesis Gaming for organizing it. And players are in the lobby now. Almost in the lobby. The laser's taking a minute to load in. There we go. So just waiting on MaxPax now. Okay, here we're going into game number 5. I wonder what MaxPax is going to do this game. Every game besides Submarine, he went for the Void Arrays into Disruptors. So we might just go back to that. Submarine's kind of a special case where you can't really do that. So we might see MaxPax just go back to a standard here. Or maybe switch it up, try something more aggressive. Maybe we'll see a cannon rush or something cool.
Yeah, I mean, it would be kind of weird if we go the whole series without the cannon rush, huh?
Yeah, I think so. Maybe. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe he just doesn't feel confident in it, but I mean, Elazer's obviously scared of it since on the one map he had the drone patrolling already.
Yeah, romanticide, exactly. But let's introduce our players. And then bottom left corner, Zerg, who is up 3-1 to Laser.
And in the top right hand side of the map, the blue Protoss. He only has one map win. Can he bring it back? It is MaxPax.
Honestly, the last two games were extremely close. Like the first two, it felt like Elazer just kind of caught MaxPax off guard two times with that Queen Ravager push with the Nidus. And MaxPax plays just a little too greedy with little to no static defense. But game 3 and 4 were quite something.
Yeah, this series could have very easily been 2-2 right now. Almost should have been. So
Yeah,
definitely very competitive series. MaxPax, that's a 17 Nexus.
yeah,
So
I guess makes it a little different. He also is playing with no scout, so
that was 17 Nexus, 17 gas. That's a long probe cut.
yeah, and he's doing the Zell Chrono Boost again. I guess he was very happy with. Yeah, I totally forgot that this is how the last game started. He Chrono boosted
Yeah.
Zell at that depth across the map, and all that weird interaction happened.
I
And
thought
then
that
he,
was just for submarine, but I guess
he
not.
I guess yeah. Well, I guess this map is kind of long, but there are the.
Another zealot.
Oh, okay. Oh,
A
and
laser
he's not
misses
actually.
the zealot just barely.
Oh no! Wait, he actually doesn't see it,
Yeah, he didn't see it. It just was barely out of vision.
and he's doing the 3 hatcheries before the second Overlord build. So this is actually like he cannot afford queens. Like, look, he's barely can afford one. He can't afford any links.
He
When you
saw
do
the
the hatcheries,
second zealot. Yeah, here's the first one getting to the third base already. There's 0 units besides drones out for laser right now. Only 2 lings on the way.
and yeah, he's gonna have to make a ridiculous amount of links if he wants to hold. I think this base is just dead. This might be the build that counters the 3 hatch before second Overlord.
Yeah,
Because
Elazer knows it. He's sending out a drone to the other third base.
wow, that is new. I guess he just knows that lazy ghost or stuff like that, and that was a point. But this is brilliant because yeah, the third base just dies, and it's terrible because he has no queens. He has one queen. He's making 2 more. Now he has to make a bunch of links. The third is definitely going to be delayed, and he can't really retake the base either until he cancels that one. But he doesn't want to cancel it for as long as possible because he needs time.
Yeah, and I mean, is there even enough to push back all these units if he goes over to stop the other third? I don't think so. If he can tuck himself into a mineral pocket, then I think he's fine. Yeah, there's
This
no more
hatch is
lings
so
on the way.
die. If he cancels this base again, this is insane. And he's perfectly fine at home. Like he already has a Twilight cancel, and he's already 2 workers ahead. And yeah, this base is gonna get canceled. I mean, Lazy's giving up on it.
Yeah,
Drone is also coming back to a death, I think. Oh wow, Drone actually somehow gets out.
another adept coming forward. He's got to cancel those shades. But I mean, this is a disastrous start for a laser. That
Oh,
third base should have been done. Made a bunch of drones already. I mean, the cancels cost money as well too. We have 16 lings and a baneling nest on the way for
okay,
a laser.
this is actually the smartest thing a Laser could have done because also, first of all, he kind of knows with this build there's no way for Stargate, and like any Twilight opening is the weakest against any sort of Link Floods or Baneling Bust. So even though MaxPax knows there's a lot of units, he still thinks that this is kind of like a defensive because he doesn't even have a show battle naturally. He doesn't even have a full wait. He doesn't have a full wall. If he doesn't warp in right about now, those links are just gonna get in and game's gonna be over just like that.
Oh no.
Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! This is terrible. Okay, he blocks him. He might be okay if he blocks it out. He needs to pull the probes immediately and starts making show batters. But those adepts are dying so fast.
Yeah,
Oh no!
I think
It's
that's
over.
just it. There's just too many lings that are inside of the base right now.
Warping or make Balins if he wants to. Wow. That is sad. I feel like he played so brilliant, and it's just, but that is the weakness of that. I guess you have to play safer back at home. You can't just be that greedy.
Yeah, I mean, maybe he's hoping his DTs can do damage. A laser sees the Dark Shrine now. I mean, there's
I mean, yeah,
just he's gonna lose too much. These DTs would have to completely kill a laser, and I mean, he can warp in one across the map.
yeah, and then that's just not gonna do anything because yeah, it's way too easy to just make a bunch of spores and surround them with your own drones to be completely fine. And there's also a layer on the way. Damn, MaxPax taps out. It felt like such a good and smart build by a laser, but just like that, it's up 4-1 for a laser. And he didn't even have to use Banelings. I feel like if there was definitely what we call a retard magnet on the because the stalker was there, but he was killing the overlord in the main base, so that's why it wasn't in the wall. It was kind of a smart move by a laser in that regard. But if stalker was on the wall and there was a defensive shield battery behind it, because he should have known that there would be a lot of links and potential counterattack, then the game would look different, because trying to bailing bust through a stalker with a shield battery in the wall is really hard. I don't know how many bailings it takes to kill a stalker in the wall that's being healed by shield battery, but it's easier to kill a gateway than it is a stalker, and that's the truth.
Yeah, so with that, Elazer does take the series, but we are going to be playing out the rest of the maps. So we'll have Pillars of Gold and then Lightshade. So maybe MaxPax will show some more creative stuff now. I mean, I guess that was already pretty creative, but maybe he'll show more cool builds.
Yeah, I absolutely love that build. Like, if you know that your opponent loves to do this 3 hash before Overload, this is a great build. You just need to be a little more defensive, because if he just got to those DTs, it would be a free win. Like, Elazer had, like, pretty much nothing. Even if he were, like, to drone instead of, like, trying to link flood, I feel like it would be such a great situation for Max. You just have to be a little more careful. But it's hard because you're trying to hit, like, such a tight DT timing, where you want to have 4 gateways, you want to have, Prism on time and everything, so you don't want to really make a shield battery. But I feel like it's required when you're playing that aggressive.
Yeah, if he just held off in the wall with the stalker there, it would have been so good. Because I mean, then you can make an Archon at home if you need, and there's no way you're getting through an Archon with the Lings and Banes. So, and that definitely could have gone to MaxPax with just slight differences in that game. Alright, so our players in the bottom left hand side of the map, we have the red Protoss player representing Team Exxon. It is MaxPax.
Perfect. And then the top right corner, up 4-1, showing us all kinds of aggressive and weird builds. It's Elazer. We actually have yet to see the most standard game we've seen so far is like Queen Ravager Nidus Push, which isn't even technically standard. Everything else was kind of a disaster, but it's a very entertaining disaster.
Yeah, that submarine game was something else. It's crazy. It's so back and forth. We have.
Max is going gateway first. I feel like that map I would be expecting the cannon rush the most. Like the choke on the natural. I feel like that or Romanticite just feels like the most popular from what I see on the pro level. But gateway first again. He's playing with no scout once again, trying to play as greedy as possible. I guess he's just figuring out that the Elazer is not really planning to 12 pull him any games.
Yeah,
it's kind of a fair risk.
This is a 17 Nexus again.
Yeah, perhaps we'll see the exact same thing.
Maybe he knows the weakness. Yeah, 17 Nexus, 17 gas. So
I mean, that build worked for him every time perfectly. It's just the follow-up kind of hurt him. On Submarine, it was actually like perfectly fine, even though Elazer didn't even go for 3 hatcheries. And last game, it was just like so perfect, except he had just died to the follow-ups. I think he understands the strength of his build, and he understands that he's doing just fine. He just needs to be a little safer. And that's about it. But yeah, I'm assuming he's gonna queue up a second Zealot right after that one. Yeah,
there
it's
it
exact
is.
same. And Elazer is actually skipping. Yeah, he's doing the exact same thing. Wow. So.
And the Overlord misses the Zealot again.
Yeah, it's exact same scenario.
Okay, he'll see the gateway, or he'll see the second Zealot right now. Yeah, he sees the second Zealot, sees the Chrono, so he should now know that it's the same thing.
Oh look, how can you really know it's a second Zealot? Like, it pops so fast. There's no proof that it's a second Zealot.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
Now he knows. Now let's see if he gets to cancel the base again. But Elazer is making links. This time he's not trying to run by with them. I guess he's gonna try to do a little dance with Zealot, see if he can out micro.
Yeah, and with 2 Zealots, I feel like you can't do that until you have a few more Lings there.
Well, he's doing
a good job of it so far, but...
Yeah,
do you see the base? Oh, 10 Lings on the way? Okay, that'll be more than enough.
There's an Adept here already though too, but Queen is here too. So I guess we just...
I mean, it'll be more than enough to kill the units, but does he save the base?
Yeah, I think he'll save the base, but it is a Stargate this time though. And Voiders can just snipe it later. Like, having the base that low is a big deal. Well, actually, he's trading really well with Lynx. Look at that. And there's another Adept just here.
And even just weakening the Queens is nice.
Yeah. And so far, he only lost one Adept. Adept gets in, shouldn't get the drone. Can just make an Evo chamber, exactly. Pretty good micro by Elazer, actually. Not gonna lose anything. Gonna get Adept for free, practically. Recalls the Zealots, puts them in the wall. And, yeah, it just depends. This base is really vulnerable. Like, even if there's 6 queens right here, if he has 3-4 Void Rays, sorry, he can just right-click it. Like, I don't see this base ever surviving. Transfuses aren't that strong.
Yeah, it's so low. And MaxPax playing a lot safer now, recalling those zealots and keeping a shield battery at home. So definitely learning from his mistakes last game. And first Void Ray is out. He will clear that Overlord, take his fast, or I guess not a fast third base, just normal time third base.
Yeah, well, I guess it's technically a faster version considering the early game. Um, but yeah, I mean, he's not. He's probably gonna go double Stargate again into disruptors, but he has to be super careful on this map. The third base is like so exposed to all ends. You can't really just take a super random like early fourth base. And once again, the laser creep spread is reaching the middle of the map slowly but surely.
Yeah, both players seem to definitely understand how important that creep spread is. But we do have the Oracle flying in now, as well as the Void Ray distracting the queens. There's no Spore over here. The queens were expected to defend it. So one drone will go down. Actually, there's only one queen right here.
Oh wow,
Gee,
yeah, he can
that's only
do a
one
lot.
Spore.
Wait, why is Void dying?
He's
Yeah,
looking at the Oracle, but 4 workers. That's
yeah,
pretty
that's not bad.
nice.
Yeah, and he's continuing to build Void Race. Second Stargate is just about done. Robo is starting. He's in a good spot. He's starting to gas us on the third before the third even finishes. He's definitely looking to play that Disruptor Void Ray in the carrier style again for sure.
Elazer now starting the additional spores. Roach Horn as well as 10 lings. He will see the third right now, and he sees more Void Rays being rallied across the map. I mean, oh, nice pick off there. But this has got to feel so scary for Laser, I think, with your third being that low. Anytime you try to move out with the queens or anything, like, there's always the risk of the Voids just running in and sniping it. And here we do actually have queens kind of far forward, spreading creep. He does know he's a little safe because the Voids were just killing the lings.
Yeah, but there's 12 roaches on the way. It looks like it's just gonna be Queen March with the roach ling flood. The robotics bay is just starting, so there's no way he can get disruptors on time to deal with that. So he needs to start in the mortal. He is starting cannons and extra shield batteries, so I think he knows. Oh, he definitely knows. He sees the queens walking with the relations. So you just need to add as much as possible. You need to spread out your static defense as well in case of the Ravagers. Um,
These Void Rays are killing a bunch of the reinforcements. They've already picked off 2 queens and a bunch of lings.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah, he's getting more and more. And he also can honestly just go snipe the third base and then recall. That's probably the move right now. I don't know if he's gonna go for it.
Yeah, I think he will. Yeah.
And he can hold on at home for a bit. There's only one Ravager that is here. That base is just gonna die and he's gonna recall. This is perfect for MaxPax.
Yeah, he's got recall and battery overcharge.
Defending that is still gonna be so rough. The battery's out of energy. There's one behind it. I guess he's just gonna stay in 2 bases. This might be the smartest move. Just it's 2 base 2-2. He's not even recalling actually those Void Rays.
Yeah,
So
he
just
killed a
stay
bunch
on
of
the
overlords.
background.
I think he actually lost one of the Void Rays this war.
Oh no, that pylon is so unfortunate.
Oh, Disruptor out. There's all the Ravagers are in a choke right now.
It's gonna. Well, I feel like he killed more probes than he did Ravagers.
Yeah. Never recalled those Void Rays, did he? Oh yeah, they're back home now. I mean, and MaxPax is down so many workers. Battery overcharge coming down.
I think that's where he defends.
Yeah, there's also 2 Disruptor shots available right now.
Yeah, the laser just types out. I mean, very smart for MaxPax to not even try to defend the third, just transfer the workers. At the end of this game, he actually had only 38 workers to 58 drones, but it doesn't matter if Zerg doesn't have a third, and Protoss has Voiders and Disruptors on the way. So
Yeah.
MaxPax making the score 4-2, winning himself extra $5 for his trouble. And we're gonna go into our very last map actually, which will be
Lightshade.
is it Lightshade? Yeah, we haven't. It's weird. I feel like Lightshade is such a good map. It's weird that no one picked it.
Yeah, pretty surprised. That was a pretty good game by MaxPax. I was very smart to realize that he could just go for the third and then two base versus two base, and he picked off all the overlords that were sitting at the third too before he recalled.
Really. Yeah, and that all came down to that early game 2 Zealot move out. It felt like it might have been worth for Laser to just cancel that base and retake the other one rather than keep it so low and vulnerable to the Voiders later on. But yeah, I feel like now Laser will not go for that 3 hatch before second Overlord and will just play more conservatively because MaxPax doesn't seem to be shy to keep doing this build.
Yeah, for sure. Right, we are almost into our last game of the series. Just waiting on Elazer right here. Okay, now we're loading on in. So, I don't think we'll see anything crazy. I feel like MaxPax, yeah, is most likely either going to do that again or his standard build that he did the first two games. He seems to like sticking with what he does multiple games in a row.
Yeah.
Alright, so starting in the bottom right hand side of the map, down 2 to 4. The blue Protoss player, it is MaxPax.
And in the top left corner, clearly tired of MaxPax playing no scout and doing some weird Zealot pushes, it's Elazer going for 12 ball.
Yeah, it's pretty smart. That was what, 3 games in a row of no scout from
Yeah.
MaxPax?
But the question is, isn't this build by nature good against 12 pole? Because he goes,
yeah.
he probably still zealots blindly. So you have a zeal by the time links come, then he just pull the probes, and I guess you are alright. Like, it's just gonna be micro dependent, but he's doing the exact same thing. I don't think he's gonna be in trouble. He's playing no scout once again,
Oh,
so it's gonna get awkward. But I really want to know how that interaction is gonna work out.
it kind of depends though, because the zealot gets sent straight across the map. So if the lings catch it and surround it at the start, and then that
Or
would
even
be pretty
ignore
bad.
it and then go for the pylon to not let the second zealot pop.
Is there enough time for that? What time does the
I
Zeki
have no
pop
idea.
out?
I've never played anything like that. I have no idea what the timings are going to be like. But I guess we shall wait and see. I mean, yeah, I think there should be because links are already going to be making their cross the map while the gateway is just about to. So I think Zealot is not even going to make it far from the base by the time links come. And obviously, Elazer also doesn't know that that's a build, but seeing that there's no probe scout, he's probably very happy.
Yeah. It's pretty funny just seeing the blind chrono zealot against 12 pool. Like if you 12 pool on ladder and you look in the replay and see a guy do this.
I probably think the guy's hacking.
Yeah.
Oh, Elazer knows it.
He's waiting.
He knows
And he
exactly.
sees the zealot this time.
Yeah, he's gonna go for the pylon, like I said, and the zealot is just not gonna finish on time. There's no way. He's trying to come back, but there's not enough time. Oh wow, this is gonna be so close.
Oh, the zealot is insanely close. The
Oh
zealot
my God,
pops out at the very last second, and I mean now this should be an easy hold for MaxPax. There's 2 zealots.
Yeah, this might just be the best case scenario for him now.
Yeah, it looks like
I mean, probes have to
maybe
be pulled.
probe
Obviously,
going
pylon
down.
died, but pretty good micro splitting off his links, forcing the Protoss to micro in 2 locations.
Yeah, there's been a lot of lost mining time. No probes have gone down yet, though.
That's pretty good, and he's making the depth, so he's gonna probably do the same thing with a move out once he clears out those links. But he can't really kill those links until that depth is out, so it's definitely hurting him a lot.
Yeah, and these things can be so annoying. Oh, first probe finally falls. But, I mean, the real damage was all that lost mining time. Okay, depth is finally out. The lings should finally get cleared out, and these units will go across the map. But, I mean, Elazer's gonna have to remake the lings, I think, and there's no gas for Elazer,
Yeah.
so he
No,
can't
pretty standard,
defend
I
the
guess, but
third
the
base,
third-
I think,
third
right?
will be hard. With the Quincy cam, because there's already creep tumor, and this natural is so close to the third, the creep tumor will be there really fast. And with Queens, he should be alright. And he obviously knows this push is coming. This is like very standard. After 12 full pros, will always try to put some counter damage. But yeah, there's 3
Oh yeah, he
Queens.
brought the third queen. That's definitely enough. I thought that it was just gonna be 1 or 2 queens there.
He only has 2 lings and 2 more on the way. So that's kind of a problem. Because he can just shade adepts into the middle lines. And that's also a problem on top of that.
Yeah,
Yep,
finally
that's exactly what
sixth
he's
link
gonna do.
started.
He could have committed there easily, just killed the Lynx. But I guess fighting the queens works too. It's really hard to micro in this situation. Because
Yeah,
they're
that's
off.
like a queen
That's queen.
falls for probably 2 zealots.
And Zealots are kind of useless anyway, so it's pretty good. And he's up for work as well, all this happening. And he's also going for the Stargate, so it's not a bad situation for MaxPax whatsoever.
Yeah, and he can keep on dancing around with these adepts since there's no speed. You can just go shade forward and run the adepts back, and it just keeps Elazer a little busy. Speed just now started. There is a safety spore on the way. Still just the one, which I think is standard, but I mean it definitely wasn't enough for Elazer last game.
Yeah, and he's on one gas only, making queens. Safety roach warren, I guess. Is there link speed on the way? There's link speed on the way, yeah. So it easily could be all in again. I'm actually surprised that MaxPax has taken the triangle thirds, but perhaps with the void race, it kind of makes sense.
Oh, going for a drone kill with the adepts, forces the drones off the line. It's nice. And he also got the creep tumor there. So now this void rage is looking around for overlords. Shouldn't be able to find anything yet. We do have the 2 Stargates and also a Robo started now. So it's MaxPax's usual setup.
Yeah, pretty much. Let's see if Laser tries to actually push into it.
Oh,
It's
this
not a
time
bad
Elazer made the 3 spores much faster.
yeah, I guess he just doesn't feel comfortable in his queen counts. The Oracle comes in, kills 2 workers, almost dies, but I'm not sure if that's worth it, especially considering losing the energy, but should be fine.
Lingering by at MaxPax is natural. There is a stalker in the wall, but it's too far back that you can't re-wall it off. Yeah, with the adepts there, Lynx can't continue pushing. They're
He's already pushing with the queens. It does
yeah.
look like he's going for the all-in.
The creep is so far back, and MaxPax should see this. The queens have to walk so far off creep.
Oh, it's so painful to watch Voiders trying to kill the Ravager Cocoon. It just never dies. Okay, I don't think he
Transfuse.
transfused it, to be honest. Waste. I feel like he could have finished, but he knows better.
Wow, that's a
Ooh,
lot of
see,
queens.
Max is gonna hold this once again. The Disruptor is not gonna be there in time, but there's Voiders, there's 2 shield batteries, no cannons though. And there's so many queens are here. 8 queens.
Yeah.
Almost every single one has a 50 energy fuse or more.
Yeah, I don't feel too good about this for MaxPax here.
Yeah, the queen count is just too scary. I feel like what he should. This is one of the games where you also try to do what he did last game. Just try to snipe their third base and then just total on 2 bases yourself. See, he's giving up the base, but his own wall off is making the probes take such a weird pathing. He lost way too many. Disruptor's gonna finish, but yeah, without damage on the other side of the map. That's what he's going for now. Yeah, he's like, fuck this. I'm going across the map, and I'm just gonna try to kill the hatchery, because Queen's gonna take a while to go back. Like, he can easily snipe a base or 2 right now, and then just recall home, and I feel like that's what he should have done from the get-go. But there's still hope. Like, this base is so exposed, so if he just kills that...
I mean, he might even be able to go into the main and kill that.
Yeah.
As long as he doesn't feel like he needs to recall yet, which he might end up needing to recall right away.
There's so many links, but if he recalls, he can kill a lot. Kills the base.
Battery overcharge coming down to try to hold without recall. There are 2 Void Rays at home and an Oracle. They can, there's so many Ravagers, they're definitely going to find some damage before the Void Rays can kill them all. But yeah, MaxPax, he is doing that. He's going into the main base with the Void Rays.
Yeah, oh yeah, he's just gonna kill the queen, kill the layer actually. Perhaps even before he can make a Hydra Den or anything. And he's holding at home just fine. Like he's gonna lose. Okay, he loses one of the Void Rays. He's gonna lose a lot of the pros, but it doesn't matter. But he doesn't get the base though. All the queens are here.
Yeah, the queens went straight to it, and now he just lost 19 workers. And yeah, Elazer just focusing as many more probes as he can. And MaxPax gets the third base cancel again for Elazer. We'll find these overlords.
Yeah, he's
That's
not doing
nice.
terrible. He has 9 Void Rays to 11 Queens, and there's 70 work
Yeah.
for Elazer, but he's on 2 bases, but he does have a Hydralisk on the way. Or Hydralisk Den, rather. Um, yeah, I just don't know how this is going to work out. Oh, he actually
PiLiPiLi
attacking
can
from 2
start it.
ways with the Void Rays. He's going to cancel the third again while distracting the Queens, and Elazer might just be on 2 bases for a while now. He needs to reposition those Queens from the natural to the third, because that's the only way to protect. Yeah, that base is going to die. 3 Void Rays is more than enough to cancel it. So
Yeah.
aspects might just be fine. He just needs to keep making workers and disruptors, and the game might just go on.
Yeah, and I think he's gonna go for the quick carriers, maybe? I mean, can he even afford carriers? I guess once he
Um,
stops making probes, he can.
yeah, I guess that's weird because he also needs a third base. He needs to keep making probes because you can't just really macro like this. It's definitely a really rough situation for MaxPax, and there's definitely another queen push potential in this game as well. Once there's enough Hydras, and now queens are gonna have 200 energy each. Like the next queen push is gonna have ridiculous amount of transfuses, and if you don't have too many carriers, interceptors are gonna die way too fast. But he's going for an infestation pit as well, so it might be just more of a macro approach.
Yeah, wow, there's so many queens. Loses a Void Ray. 16 queens. It's more than enough to split them up and hold both sides, and the Hydra's at the natural.
He's just
MaxPax
getting
seeing
the
those.
voiders speed. Maybe he's not even going for the carriers. Maybe he's gonna plan to keep making voiders.
I don't know if that's the right decision here. Like, you've got so many Void Rays. I guess maybe get the Void Ray speed anyways because it's so cheap. But I feel like he'd... Yeah, okay, I was gonna say, he needs to start making the carriers eventually. There's the first one on the way. And
But
if
he's
you...
so poor. It's so hard for him. It's crazy how he's keeping up with the supply, even though being like so behind in workers. But the laser's just now gonna start mining in the third. I feel like that's where we're gonna see the difference in supply to skyrocket.
Yeah, so many Hydras. Lurker Den is almost complete. Hive's almost complete. Upgrades will be even, surprisingly. I mean, if you can get enough carriers up before push comes out, then it's okay. But I mean,
And he has 3 disruptors, so like Hydras. I mean, with good micro, they can obviously dodge,
oh,
but with
he
Queens,
grouped
it's
up
gonna
all
be
the
hard.
Void Rays. Yeah, I mean, so much energy on the Queens. There's no way that you can kill him. And Hydra's coming behind, but won't find the voids.
+1 fire is about to finish. First carrier is out, second one on the way. Yeah, it's such a painfully slow production, and the laser's up to 72 workers for the 4th base and 8 gases on the way.
4
That's gonna
Vipers
be...
on the way.
Oh yeah, that's probably gonna be the end push. Queen, Viper, Hydra versus like very low carrier count with no storm potential.
Yeah, you can just pull
Uh,
every single disruptor in, and then the interceptors will all just die anyways to the Hydras.
yeah, that seems like gonna be a bigger problem for MaxPax, but maybe he can squeeze out enough units and static defense. There's definitely hope for that.
There's a changeling. Elazer knows exactly what's at whom, and MaxPax hasn't spotted it. But
Oh yeah, he needs to get rid of it because yeah, it seems the positioning way too perfectly. I also see the Voiders are at home as well. He gets rid of it.
is he moving out with? He's moving out with everything. Ooh.
Maybe he's trying to hit the before the Viper timing, but that's too late for that. Obviously he can always recall, but he might just pay a huge price for it. Maybe actually if Elazer randomly walks up this ramp without vision and just eats a disruptor shot, but no, he puts the changeling, sees everything. Oh, you gotta be careful there, MaxPax. He's committing to this fight, but I don't like it. I mean, there's 3 carriers, but
Oh man, there's too many Vipers. Yeah, pulls.
yeah, everything gets pulled. Oh, that disruptor shot might be really nice. Oh, nice. That wasn't bad at all. But he's
Yeah,
still
now
gonna
these
lose.
disruptors are gonna go down. He keeps one disruptor alive. He killed off all the Hydras.
I don't know. Yeah, that one disruptor shot was very nice because Elazer pulled the disruptors before they actually shot, so not all of them were cancelled. And those queens have a ridiculous amount of energy. He needs to back off. You don't
Oh, the
wanna
Void
take
Rays are
this
going into the main base. They're gonna try to snipe the Hive.
He's crazy. And yeah, there's actually only 2 Hydras. You might as well. Oh, that's good play by Vipers though.
Yeah.
Actually gonna kill. It gets 2
Oh.
Void Rays. Third one almost dies. Doesn't die.
2 HP. Oh, he'll get another one right here. Yeah.
Oh wow, yeah, a lot of Void Rays die. It was a smart maneuver, but the laser was ready, and yeah, Vipers give a lot of utility here as well.
Yeah, and the nice thing is, with taking out all those Hydras, you heavily delay any push that Elazer was thinking about.
Yeah, for
So
sure.
it gives you time to keep on getting your carrier count up since you don't lose those. And then there is also Templar Archives done, so Storm can start soon.
Right.
MaxPax needs to get that fourth base up. He just now starts it. It's immediately spotted by Elazer. He's going to send a bunch of lings over while getting ready to push the third base.
Yeah, there's already 8 lurkers as well. There's 15 queens. Literally every single one of them is basically full energy. I don't know how you're gonna hold this. There's 6 carriers and 2 disruptors, and that is it's a pretty good number. There's 2 high templars. Can even be used to feedback the queens if they really want to.
If you can feedback the Vipers and get some good disruptor shots, then I think
Yeah,
that's
for
your
sure.
only real chance here. But
Actually, once those cannons die, there's no more detection either. Oh, very nice disruptor shots.
yes,
Okay, there's
picking
observer.
off a few lurkers, but 5 lurkers going down before the fight even really starts. Oh, High
Oh, high
Templar's just
templars,
walking straight into the lurkers though.
7 carriers to 5 hydras and 15 queens. Actually, there's not enough anti-air, but he might just lose the base just to lurk.
There's no shield batteries here either. Oh, Vipers go down immediately, so now there's nothing to
Nice
stop these
disruptor
disruptor
dude,
shots. There's no
MaxPax
anti-air
God.
here.
Might
MaxPax is
actually-
gonna hold and kill Elazer's army.
Yeah, that's freaking crazy. I mean, he's doubled the workers, but yeah, wait, what just happened? I'm so confused. How did this just?
What? MaxPax takes the last
This
game of the
makes
series.
no sense.
It's crazy.
I'm gonna rewind this game just to see because this makes no sense. He was still on 57 workers to 92 drones of Elazer, who has more bases, and he also killed the 4th base. MaxPax was on 3 bases, and his natural wasn't even mining. But those disruptor shots and feedbacks were just. Oh, actually, there was no feedback. The Vipers just died to carries, didn't they?
Yeah, the carriers just focused them down.
That is unbelievable, honestly.
I guess he had nothing to kill the carriers if they just walked across the map.
I mean, yeah, that makes sense. And he had like very little gas bank for a laser. He had like no static defense. Yeah, it makes sense. But the fact that he defended this push with little to no losses was just insane. And I guess
Yeah.
the supply was telling kind of a fake story as well because yeah, Elazer had 92 workers to 47 of MaxPax. So even though supply looked much higher for Elazer, he actually didn't have any units. But he needed to just chill out. He killed the 4th base. He should I feel like he could easily taken this late game, but yeah, MaxPax making it 4-3, giving himself another $5 for his trouble, and extremely close matched opponents. We ended up playing 7 maps, and it's only 4-3. And I mean, someone had to win it if it's best of 7. Someone's gonna have 4 wins. Every game seemed like extremely close and entertaining.
Yeah, some great games came out of this. So thanks everyone for stopping by and watching. Thank you to Trovo for sponsoring, Genesis Gaming for organizing this, and make sure you stop by the Match Arena and enter the free code. It contributes money to the prize pool. For the players, the Match Arena link is in the chat, as well as the code. There's also little things you could do on the side, like retweet things, follow people on Twitter, and that also adds money to the prize pool. Again, at no cost to you.
Yeah, perfect. And yeah, I guess thank you guys for watching. It was a fun series. It was fun casting. And we hope to see you next time.
So that'll be the end. Bye.